Hello everyone, and welcome to my Young and the Restless official 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Nick and Sharon meet Detective Burrow, Mariah's unsettling visit. While Mariah Copeland receives a concerning visit, Detective Burrow will see Nick Newman and Sharon Newman. Fans of YNR are aware that Daniel Romalotti Jr. and Tessa Porter received some unsettling information on Mariah's behavior at her previous hotel. It's time for Tessa to tell Mariah what she now knows about her almost deadly experience with Will Hensley. Of course, when Tessa encouraged her wife to leave things alone, Mariah could not like that she looked for answers. Mariah might react strongly to Tessa's revelation, particularly if she thinks their family may be in danger as a result of Tessa's inquiry. You can guarantee that Tessa will rely on Daniel for assistance in the aftermath if this visit to Mariah's institution ends badly. Throughout it all, Daniel has been Tessa's pillar of support, and he will remain there for her however she allows him to. She will take responsibility of an issue with Melody Thomas Scott's character, Nikki Newman. Nikki will feel compelled to take care of anything herself, so there may be some drama with Kane Ashby or maybe an attempt to get clarification on Noah's medical emergency. In relation to Noah's medical emergency, Sharon and Nick will keep discussing the possible causes of his car's collision with a ravine. Nick and Sharon are unaware of who discovered Noah hurt and why he was traveling so far from his motel in a canyon. According to spoilers for The Young and the Restless, Sharon and Nick will eventually run across a fascinating stranger. Given that Matt Cohen will play Detective Burrow for the first time in Thursday's show, it appears like Nick and Sharon will introduce Detective Burrow. If Detective Burrow believes Noah's accident was purposeful, he may have some disturbing information to share. When he makes his upcoming debut, Roger Howarth will also play a mysterious stranger, but his part sounds a little more sinister. When Detective Burrow looks into Noah's accident, would he eventually blame Howarth's character? When Holden Novak inquired about Mitch, Sienna Bacall pretended to be tense and unable to provide his location, despite her declaration that they were partners for life. Don't miss all the twists and turns ahead because Mitch might have a part in this Noah mess. Nick and Sharon Newman's lives are once again thrown into chaos as a dark shadow creeps over Genoa City. The once peaceful calm surrounding Noah's recovery has begun to shatter, and this time, it's not just a family matter, it's a full-blown criminal investigation. In the upcoming episodes of The Young and the Restless, viewers can expect the emotional intensity to reach boiling point as Nick and Sharon find themselves face-to-face with Detective Burrow, a sharp, calculated investigator determined to uncover the truth behind Noah's mysterious car crash. Meanwhile, Mariah Copeland's world spirals as she receives a disturbing visit that may have devastating consequences for both her and Tessa Porter. Secrets are about to explode, and no one in the Newman or Copeland households will be left untouched. It all begins with Mariah's unsettling encounter. Rumors about her erratic behavior have been spreading ever since Daniel Romalotti Jr. and Tessa Porter received troubling information from the staff at her previous hotel. According to insiders, Mariah had been seen arguing with a man who fits the description of Will Hensley, a figure from her past whose involvement nearly cost her her life years ago. Though Mariah had buried that trauma deep within, the resurfacing of Will's name triggers a wave of paranoia and fear. Tessa, deeply worried, digs into the situation despite Mariah's insistence that she let it go. Her instincts scream that something sinister is going on, but her investigation will soon put her, and everyone she loves, in danger. When Tessa confronts Mariah about what she's learned, things go terribly wrong. Mariah feels betrayed and exposed, lashing out in fear rather than gratitude. She accuses Tessa of overstepping boundaries and of reopening old wounds that should have stayed buried. Tessa's revelation, that Will Hensley had checked into the same hotel just days before Mariah's breakdown, leaves Mariah rattled to the core. Could Will still be out there, watching her, manipulating events from the shadows? Or is this a cruel coincidence dredged up to destabilize her already fragile peace? Emotions run high as Mariah's panic morphs into anger. The confrontation grows heated, and Tessa's pleas for calm are ignored. Mariah's hands tremble as she recalls the near-fatal incident that once left her hospitalized and terrified to trust anyone. She's convinced that someone is targeting her again, and that Tessa's snooping has only made things worse. When Daniel arrives to check on Tessa, he finds the aftermath of a tense and heartbreaking argument. Tessa is shaken but resolute, vowing to get to the bottom of whatever is haunting her wife, even if it means defying Mariah's wishes. Daniel, ever the steady friend, promises to stay by her side through whatever comes next. His support gives Tessa the courage to face the coming storm. At the same time, Newman is dealing with her own set of complications. The weight of her responsibilities at Newman Enterprises has taken a toll, but it's her family's crises that push her to the edge. The whispers about Noah's accident have reached her ears, and she can't ignore the gnawing feeling that something far more sinister is going on. Determined to protect her family, Nikki takes matters into her own hands, possibly stepping on toes, particularly Cain Ashby's. There's speculation that Nikki might confront Cain over his possible connection to a mysterious exchange that took place before Noah's accident. Cain, already under scrutiny for past dealings and his proximity to Newman business affairs, could find himself caught in a web of suspicion once again. Meanwhile, Nick and Sharon are haunted by questions with no answers. Their son's accident just doesn't add up. Why was Noah driving so far from his motel that night? Who found him injured in the ravine, and why has that person stayed silent? The more they talk, the more they realize that pieces of the puzzle are missing. Their shared worry rekindles a familiar closeness between them, evoking memories of all the storms they'd weathered together as parents. Sharon's intuition tells her that this isn't just a random accident, it's connected to something deeper, perhaps something Noah uncovered or someone he trusted who betrayed him. That's when Detective Burrow enters the picture. Played by Matt Cohen, Burrow makes an instant impression, a blend of quiet confidence and sharp perception. When he meets Nick and Sharon, his calm tone belies a sense of urgency. He listens as they recount everything they know about Noah's trip, but his expression darkens the more he hears. It becomes clear that Burrow isn't just investigating a routine car accident. He's following a trail of evidence that suggests foul play. Burrow informs them that the crash site shows inconsistencies, a missing skid mark, a broken guardrail that seems tampered with, and traces of another vehicle's paint on Noah's car. It all points toward the chilling possibility that Noah was forced off the road. Sharon's eyes widen in disbelief. "You're saying someone tried to kill our son," she whispers, her voice trembling. Burrow doesn't confirm it outright, but his hesitation says enough. Nick, his temper barely restrained, demands to know who would do such a thing. Burrow explains that they've found a partial fingerprint on Noah's steering wheel that doesn't match any family member or friend. For now, it's an unidentified suspect, but Burrow warns that this case might get uglier before it gets clearer. His tone grows somber as he hints at a potential link between Noah's accident and another ongoing investigation in Los Angeles involving a man named Mitch and his associate, Sienna. This mention sets off alarm bells for Sharon. She recalls that Holden Novak, Claire's complicated partner from LA, had previously crossed paths with Mitch and Sienna. Could it be that Noah stumbled upon something related to that group's dealings? Holden's world, after all, has always carried a dangerous edge, one tied to business secrets and shady alliances. And as Burrow digs deeper, he begins to suspect that Noah's accident might have been a warning, a way to silence someone who saw too much. While all this unfolds, Mariah's situation grows increasingly volatile. The unsettling visitor she receives that night only deepens the mystery. A man shows up at her door claiming to have information about her past ordeal with Will Hensley. He introduces himself as a private investigator named Lewis, but his demeanor is anything but reassuring. His eyes dart nervously, his questions are invasive, and his tone reeks of manipulation. He insists that Will is back in town and wants to make things right. Mariah feels her blood run cold. Before she can press him for details, the man leaves a small envelope on her table and disappears into the night. Inside is a single photograph, Mariah, taken just days ago, standing outside Crimson Lights. Someone has been following her. Tessa returns home to find Mariah shaken and pale. The photo is proof that her fears are real. Someone is watching. Tessa immediately calls Daniel, and the three decide to inform the authorities. But as fate would have it, Detective Burrow is already connecting dots that lead him straight to them. When he meets with Nick and Sharon again, he reveals that a second case, one involving harassment and stalking, may be tied to the same web of deceit surrounding Noah's crash. Both cases seem to involve individuals with ties to Los Angeles and to Mitch's murky network. Burrow's questions become more pointed. Did Noah mention meeting anyone new recently? Did he ever speak of helping someone in trouble? Sharon recalls a conversation she had with Noah weeks before his accident. He mentioned wanting to visit someone from Claire's circle, perhaps to offer support after hearing about recent tragedies in LA. That detail suddenly seems far more significant. If Noah went to meet someone connected to Claire or Holden, could that meeting have led to his downfall? The lines between personal drama and criminal conspiracy blur rapidly. Nick grows increasingly protective, insisting that they bring in private security for Sharon and Faith. He doesn't trust anyone, not even the local police, until he knows who's behind all this. Sharon, though frightened, remains determined to help the investigation. She refuses to let fear dictate her actions again, recalling the strength it took to overcome her battles with loss and mental health. Her quiet resilience earns Burrow's respect, and he promises to keep her informed every step of the way. Meanwhile, in a chilling twist, Detective Burrow receives an anonymous call that changes everything. The voice on the other end warns him to stop digging into Noah Newman's crash or face the same fate. The call traces back to an unregistered burner phone, but the threat confirms what Burrow already suspected: this is no accident. Someone powerful wants the truth buried. At Society, Nikki meets with Daniel and Tessa, trying to piece together the threads connecting Noah's crash, Mariah's stalker, and whatever secrets Mitch and Sienna are hiding. The conversation turns tense when Nikki mentions that she's heard whispers about a new player entering Genoa City, a man matching Roger Howarth's mysterious character. Some insiders believe he could be connected to Mitch's syndicate or even working undercover for someone else entirely. His arrival is said to cast a long, dangerous shadow over the investigation. As the week comes to a close, everything reaches a fever pitch. Sharon receives a chilling message on her phone, a photo of Noah's crashed car with the words "he knew too much" scrawled across it. Mariah, still trembling from her own encounter, feels the walls closing in. Detective Burrow vows to find whoever is behind these threats, but the web of deceit seems endless. Could Mitch be pulling the strings from behind the scenes? Is Sienna hiding more than she's letting on? And will Roger Howarth's new character turn out to be the ally, or enemy, that no one saw coming? By the end of the episode, fans will be left on the edge of their seats as Detective Burrow uncovers a crucial clue linking Noah's case to a larger criminal operation. Nick and Sharon brace for the storm that's about to hit, while Mariah and Tessa's marriage is tested like never before. With Genoa City trembling under the weight of new secrets, one thing becomes painfully clear: the danger is far from over. Every connection, every hidden truth, every lie told to protect the ones they love will soon come crashing down, because the past, no matter how deeply buried, always finds a way to resurface. The following morning in Genoa City feels different, heavier, quieter, as if the whole town senses that something terrible is about to unravel. The mist still lingers over the Newman ranch when Nick pulls up, his expression a mix of exhaustion and restrained fury. He's been up all night on the phone with private investigators, refusing to let Noah's case fall into bureaucratic limbo. Sharon, meanwhile, hasn't slept either. Every time she closes her eyes, she sees Noah's car mangled in the ravine, hears the echo of Detective Burrow's words: "It may not have been an accident." Inside Crimson Lights, Sharon busies herself wiping the same counter over and over again, trying to find calm through routine. Faith, who has been staying with her mother for support, notices her unease. "Mom, you've been scrubbing that counter for 20 minutes, Faith says softly. Sharon smiles weakly, sets the cloth aside, and admits that she's waiting for an update from Detective Burrow. There's something about him, something in the way he spoke last night, that made her believe the truth is closer than anyone realizes. But the calm doesn't last long. The bell above the door rings, and Tessa rushes in, her face pale and panicked. She's clutching her phone tightly, hands trembling. "Sharon, I didn't know where else to go," she blurts out. "He called again. The man who came to see Mariah, the one who left that photo, he just called me." Sharon's heart sinks. What did he say? Tessa swallows hard, glancing around nervously. He said I need to stop digging into what happened at the hotel, or he'll make sure I regret it. He knew details about me and Mariah that no stranger should know, Sharon. He mentioned our daughter. Sharon's eyes widen in horror. You mean Arya? Tessa nods, tears forming. He said, it'd be a shame if the little one saw something she shouldn't. I called Daniel right after, but his phone went straight to voicemail. I don't know what to do. Sharon immediately grabs her phone and calls Nick, who's only minutes away. Within moments, he storms in, the protective father and family guardian in him instantly taking over. No one threatens my family, he growls, taking the phone from Tessa to scroll through the call log. The number, of course, is blocked. But Detective Burrow will have ways of tracing it. Burrow arrives shortly afterward, still wearing his crisp, dark jacket and that calm but intense stare that makes everyone around him feel both safe and uneasy. I got your message, Sharon, he says as he enters the cafe. Let's talk somewhere private. In the back room, Burrow listens carefully as Tessa recounts everything that happened, from the strange visitor at Mariah's door to the threatening call just an hour earlier. Burrow's expression never wavers, but his mind is racing. This is escalation, he mutters under his breath. Whoever this man is, he's getting bolder. Either he's desperate, or he's being watched too. Nick frowns. Watched? By who? Burrow hesitates before answering. When I started looking into Noah's case, I cross-referenced the hotel records from the night of his crash. A man using the alias Louis C. checked into a nearby motel under a stolen credit card. The description Tessa gave of the visitor matches that man exactly. Tessa's breath catches in her throat. So, he was in the area the night Noah crashed? Yes, Burrow confirms. And here's where it gets complicated. The motel's security footage was wiped clean, professionally. That's not something your average stalker can pull off. It suggests organization. Resources. Maybe even connections to a larger network. Nick exchanges a look with Sharon. You think this could tie back to Mitch or Sienna? The people from Holden Novak's circle? Burrow's eyes narrow. It's possible. I've spoken with the LAPD, they've been tracking a syndicate linked to Mitch's operations. Fraud, blackmail, even contract hits. It wouldn't be the first time someone in Genoa City got caught up in their business without realizing it. Sharon grips the edge of the table, her voice trembling. Are you saying Noah might have stumbled onto something criminal? That's what I'm starting to believe, Burrow replies gravely. And if that's true, whoever caused his accident might be trying to clean up loose ends. The tension in the room is palpable. Tessa looks at Sharon, panic giving way to guilt. This is my fault. If I hadn't pushed Mariah to revisit what happened with Will Hensley, none of this. Sharon interrupts her gently. No, Tessa. This isn't on you. Whoever's behind this has been planning it for a long time. You didn't start it, you just stumbled into it. Still, Tessa's shoulders slump in defeat. Then what do we do now? Burrow leans forward, voice low but firm. You do nothing publicly. No confrontations, no sudden moves. Let me handle the investigation. But I will need access to Mariah's phone records and security footage from your home. Whoever's watching her may have left a digital trail. Sharon nods, though the thought of her daughter and granddaughter being in danger twists her stomach into knots. Do what you need to do, detective. Just keep them safe. Across town, at the Grand Phoenix Hotel, Phyllis Summers overhears a conversation between two guests mentioning the name Mitch. Her curiosity piqued, she discreetly texts Nick, you might want to know that Mitch's name is being whispered around the hotel again. Something's brewing. It's a small detail, but it confirms that Mitch, or someone tied to him, is indeed back in Genoa City. Later that afternoon, Burrow receives a crucial update from his tech team. The threatening call to Tessa's phone was routed through a signal bounce originating from a warehouse district near the outskirts of town. Without wasting time, he heads there with Nick in tow, despite warning him to stay out of police matters. "You're not keeping me out of this," Nick insists. "If this has anything to do with my son, I'm seeing it through." When they reach the warehouse, it's eerily quiet. The building looks abandoned, but signs of recent activity, fresh tire tracks, cigarette butts, and a faint smell of motor oil, tell another story. Burrow draws his weapon, motioning for Nick to stay behind. They enter slowly, their footsteps echoing off the concrete floor.